I first started volunteering with Catherine 3 years ago. The triplets were 3 little tiny babies that would fit in this bed side by side.
I don't think anything can prepare you for having 3 babies at any one time, so everyone crying at different times and not sleeping through the night at different times. Our parents and families live on the other side of the world.
I guess a lot of other families would have grandparents, etc. All of our grandparents, unfortunately, in either Australia or New Zealand, so it's pretty much Catherine and I looking after them.
Andrew, her husband, is very supportive, but it doesn't really fill the gap of not having your mother or a grandmother.
We were referred to Home Start by our health visitor, fortunately, and we were lucky enough to have Mary join us when the boys were 3 months old. We live in quite a rural location. We were living in a small town, but we had to move once we had triplets because you need more space. So the house that we have now is bigger, but the compromise is that we're out of town and we're also on a very busy road.
And when you've got 3 little boys and one set of hands, it's great to have someone else here.
Getting into a shop other than a supermarket was totally impossible with a double or a triple stroller, so Mary made that possible.
And it's been a huge help for Catherine as almost like a motherly figure and someone to turn to for advice.
She's sort of like a surrogate grandmother in many ways.
My dad is a soldier.
I'm a mother of 2. My husband's in the army, but it's very isolating when you are a partner with somebody in the army or the forces. Being an army wife, when you shut that door at night and the children are in bed, you're there on your own and you have lots of time to think about things. But particularly when he was in Afghanistan, my life changed quite a bit when he was there for 6 months. Things like I don't watch the news anymore because there's always that dread that that person that died over in Afghanistan could be your husband. So part of the reason I actually volunteered to be a Home Start volunteer as well, because I actually knew he was going away for 6 months and I needed something to fill my time. I'd just done the prep course and I was just ready to be matched with a particular family. My mum was taken into hospital. It took them 6 weeks just before she actually died to say that she had terminal cancer. Home Start was a turning point because I actually was not going to become a volunteer. I'd actually thought, no, I can't manage this. My mum's just died. I knew if I had too much time on my hand, I didn't have something to occupy myself, I could quickly go back into depression. And so I said yes, and from there really it's changed my life. Home Start really has changed me, doing the volunteering and obviously now being a trustee. Previously I was a social worker. As a social worker, you're there because you have to be there. As a volunteer, it's more of an empowering role, being able to enable them rather than being an enforcer.
My name is Hafiz and I live in Plumstead. I have 5 children. I'm housewife, I'm not go outside and I'm very fed up sometimes. I'm disabled. I had a hip replacement. Actually, I'm not understand and we're not very good English. Home Start helped me for go to hospital and phone calls, make and change appointment. Home Start helped my children.
And she did as well.
Okay.
So it's good for kids because not that much kids get to go out with their families, so they help us enjoy lots of things.
He broke up with me, and about 2 weeks after that I found out that I was pregnant. There I was, no job, no money, new baby, nowhere to live. I was also emotionally in a pretty unstable place because we'd been nursing my granddad up until his death just before Christmas. I thought to myself, if I'm keeping this baby, I've got to be able to show him that you fight, you don't give up, you keep going when it's really tough. And I graduated, I think it was 17 days before I had him. A friend of mine who'd had twins at the same time that I'd had Rufus had a Home Start lady, and I said, I'd love someone like that to come and talk to. My volunteer Linda is wonderful. Linda was also a single mum, but a really positive, happy lady, and she had 6 children and she'd done it all by herself. It's just a point that I know is going to happen each week, and I kind of store up all my worries.
I just think it's just that little bit of support, once a week really seems to make a difference.
If I'm having a bad time with my depression, I just say to Linda, I just want to have a cup of tea and I just want to talk.
There's a lot of families within rural communities, and although they might live in quite large houses and, you know, or farms, or even, it can be quite a lonely life when you've got young children.
Linda, my volunteer, is helping me to take little steps towards being the kind of mum that I want to be and being the right role model for my son.
It's almost like a breath of fresh air to somebody, whether they come from rural backgrounds or town backgrounds. I really do feel that, you know, in some time in their life they do need that support.
I'm Aaron Roney. I have paranoid schizophrenia, so I would be very shy of strangers, so I would be. You know, shy away because that's part of my illness, you know.
Aaron's in the house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week he doesn't get out.
I don't only support him, I also give like a respite to his wife.
My responsibilities would be the 3 children and Aaron. I'm Aaron's main carer.
When George comes, it's the best day in the week.
Hi Lorraine, it's Ivy. In the conservatory?
Life's very difficult living with Emma and her condition. Emma has cerebral palsy. She also suffers from Soto syndrome, which is a growth disorder. She's visually impaired and she's epileptic. I've got a volunteer from Homestart that comes in once a week, which is great.
When I come, I'll play with them in the conservatory, different toys, we'll go out possibly a walk.
Emma adores Irene. She's always very glad to see Irene, and I think she associates Irene with great fun.
Sometimes we laugh at what's happening, because sometimes laughter's the best thing that can cure all, and other times we'll cry together, and anything else in between.
I have personally been working with a lady and managed to keep her little boy with her, and I feel that without Homestart's help that wouldn't have happened.
If I hadn't had Homestart, I don't know if I'd have found the confidence to do those little things, or for when things had gone wrong to go back and do them again.
I think Homestart's very good because it helps my mum.
I am ready for Homestart. Thank you very much.
Irene brings so much to her family, and so do Homestart.
She's kind of one in a million, and Homestart has been amazing.